Hello my beautiful crafty friends, I'm Katya with Lunar Sun Creations and today is going to be a day with clay. I want to do an experiment to create some faux turquoise out of polymer clay, but I'm gonna do it 3 different ways just to decide which way I like best. Okay, so materials that I'm going to be using today, gold leaf. I've got some Liquitex Ivory Black paint, some black alcohol ink, transparent liquid Sculpey. These are both Sculpey Primo. This is a peacock pearl. This is a granite turquoise. I have got some scrap dark brown clay. This is just a whole bunch of colors that have been mixed together. It was like the crap scrap, and I just put it all together and it became this brown. So that's that. And then your like a flexible blade, an acrylic roller, craft knife, block to kind of push on our clay once we've formed it into a kind of rectangle, and then a surface to work on that the clay will stick to, like a tile or a glass mat or something like that. Okay, so to begin, I've mixed up equal parts of the peacock pearl and the granite turquoise. I know they don't look equal now, but I had used more of this one previously. So they are equal parts mixed up into this. I'm gonna chop all of this up and I'm going to put it in 3 equal piles. One pile will receive just a little bit of the black paint. One pile will receive a little bit of the black alcohol ink. The third pile will just get brown clay and no paint or alcohol ink. No black at all, just the brown. Okay, so I'm going to chop all of this up and then we will get going. So you want the pieces to be quite small and going different directions. So I'm going to go one direction and then I'm going to go another direction, but it doesn't have to be, you don't want it to be perfect. You want it to be very abstract, non-uniform. So I'm going to do the same kind of thing to the other pile. Just make sure that all of your pieces are pulled apart. You don't want any massive chunks. Okay, so I'm going to do that to these 2 piles and then we'll continue. Okay, so I've got my 3 piles of chopped up clay. A little tip, if your clay is like sticking together as you're chopping it, just put it in the fridge for a few minutes and that will help the clay to, the little pieces to stay separated when you chop them up, if it's a little bit cooler. Okay, so in this first one, I'm going to put it in a bag just to save my hands and my workspace and put a tiny bit of black paint in it. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that in there. It's like 2 tiny little dollops. Okay, and now I am going to smoosh it all around in there. I'm going to do this off camera just because it's going to be really loud. Okay, so I just took it out of the bag so you could see it a little bit better, and it's got pretty good coverage. I'm tempted to add a tiny bit more paint, but I don't want it to be overly black. So I've just kind of spread it out a little bit, and I'm going to let that dry, and then we will go from there. Now put a glove on because this one is going to be alcohol ink. I'm going to chop this up just a little bit more and then add a few drops of black alcohol ink. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So 3 drops of black alcohol ink. And I'll mix that all together. Must be really, it's warmer than I realized because this clay it was just super cold and now it's really hot already. I'm gonna add a couple more drops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so here is the black alcohol ink. I'm gonna spread this out and let it dry as well. And then the third one, we're just going to add tiny little slivers of brown clay. So I've got my brown clay here. I'm gonna chop it up as fine as I can get it and then mix it in. Okay, it's gonna be hard to see, but there are, you can probably see the brown chunks in there. Okay, I'm just gonna recut this one again because I kind of smushed it a little bit together as I was adding the brown. And then I'm gonna add gold leaf to this one. The other two I'm gonna wait until they're completely dry, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of gold leaf to them as well. Okay, I think that's enough. Okay, and then I'm going to add just a little bit of translucent liquid Sculpey just to keep it all together after adding that gold leaf. Boop-a-doop. And then I'm going to squish it all together into a little block. Okay, and this is where the acrylic block comes in. This is just helps to squeeze it into the shape that you want. So I just kind of want like a little squared off log, kind of rectangle-ish thing. How's that for a specific shape? So something like that. Okay, and then I'm going to put this in the fridge for just a little bit before I start cutting into it. Okay, but I'm going to do the other two first. Okay, so here they are. This is the one with the black paint. Oops. This is the one with the alcohol ink. I might have put a bit too much of the gold foil on that one, we'll see. But they look fairly similar, obviously. And then this is the one with just the brown flecks of paint. Okay, so these are all going to go into the fridge for about 10 minutes and then we'll slice into them and see what we got. Okay, let's slice into the one with just the brown clay and see what we've got. Okay, so very, very subtle. You can see tiny little bits of the brown clay. The gold leaf isn't really showing through yet. Let's just keep cutting and see. I try and do these as uniform as possible. Normally I'm right over top of it, so because I'm not, hopefully... Oh, that one's a little thinner. That's okay. Okay, so I feel like this is going to be a much more subtle effect than the other two. The other two are going to be quite a bit more dramatic, I feel. Okay, well, let's put it all together to create a slab. The more even you cut your slices, the better the slab will form. It won't go all funky when you roll it out. Mine's gonna go a little funky because this is definitely not, these are definitely not all even. Okay, just gonna give that a roll. Flip it over, roll the other side, and then I'll put it through my pasta machine on the setting 1. I might have to back it with something. I don't know if it's going to be thick enough. Okay, well that's what it looks like as a slab. Still going to maybe go over it just a little bit with a piece of paper, make sure everything's really together. Okay, So I'm going to set this one aside for a second, and I will get the other two out of the fridge and we will compare them, and then we'll cut them into pieces or shapes or earrings. Things. Okay, so this is the alcohol ink one. All right, so we've got lots of little tiny veins going through this one. Okay, perfect. So let's put this one into a slab, and then we will cut the one with the paint. All right, so that is what that one looks like. Okay, and now, so just as a comparison here, now I'll go grab the one with the black paint and we'll check out that one. Okay, so let's cut into this one. I'm gonna go lengthwise on this one, I think. Okay, so very similar. The alcohol ink I think was a little bit darker. I shouldn't have added those last couple drops, but okay, just gonna go over these ones with the paper just to make sure that they are really together. Now I'm just gonna use, I'm gonna make a pair of earrings with these, so I'll just put those into the clay and trim around them, and then just use a couple moon cutters I think for each one, and then I'll bake them. So for these I just put the cutters in, which side do I like? So I just kind of push them in a little bit. And then do a little bit of a press with the roller. And then take my blade and kind of go around with my blade. Okay, so I'll do that with each one, and then use some other cutters, and then we'll bake them. A couple little tips when you're using cutters. Go over the edge with your finger once you've cut it, just to get rid of any tiny little burrs that might be there, and that way you don't have to do nearly as much sanding afterwards, which in my opinion is kind of the worst part. And if you use any of these kinds of things with the metal frames, on the back side you're going to want to clean that up. So take your blade, your craft blade, and just kind of go along the edge of each side. Oh wow, there is a big black bear walking down our driveway. Hey buddy. They're so fluffy and I want to like squeeze them, but I know that that is not something that should ever be done. He's by the RV. He might be out of sight now. Yeah, he's just going right, he's going on the other side. Okay.
It's a big boy.
Yeah. Yeah, he is a big boy. He's going in the field of flowers. Oh, I kind of want to take pictures of him in the field of flowers. Oh, look at him. Always frolicking in the flowers. It's so ridiculously cute. Okay, so anyway, make sure that the back is nice and cleaned up like that. Okay, so here they are all ready to go into the oven. Got the black paint ones on the far left here, and the center is the black alcohol ink, and then over here we've got with the brown clay. I cut out all the same shapes and cutters or pieces, so it's just moons and the diamonds, so that we could have a fair comparison. So I'm gonna bake these now, and then we'll see what they look like when they're done. Okay, so here they all are out of the oven. I've resined the diamonds just so you could see them with resin on them. I don't know if the camera's picking up the sheen of them. So this is the ones with the black paint. These are the ones with the alcohol ink. And then these are the brown clay bits. Bring them up so you can see them a little bit better. So let me know in the comments which ones you like the best, which method you like the best, or if you have a different method altogether that you like to use. I think they all turned out really cool. I'm definitely happy with all of them. I think I like the black paint the best, although I did do some last week with the brown paint that kind of turned out, or the brown clay that kind of turned out different than these ones, and I liked those ones as well. So I mean, honestly, any of the methods work great. So let me know which ones you like the best. And I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who has purchased anything from my shop lately or has bought me a coffee online. You are literally keeping me housed and fed. So I thank you so incredibly much for your support. Being a full-time artist is not without its challenges, but I am still super stoked on my decision to do so, and I'm plugging away and making it work. All right, I love you all so much, and I hope you will give this a try. I will be putting, I'm going to be resining the rest of these, and I will be putting some of these into my Etsy shop. I've got a few other pieces of jewelry in there, and I will be adding more all the time because I've been making a lot of jewelry lately. All right, I hope you're having a beautiful day, and sending you huge hugs. I will see you again very soon. Bye!